So, do you think you have an anger problem?
You give it.
Especially as black women, we're taught that, you know, you have to sacrifice and give. How many times do you hear men say, oh, I need a woman that will build me, da da da, but you still want to be head of the home? If I'm building you, I better be head of that home.
Yeah. He owes me. You think he owes you? Every damn breath in his body.
We are reviewing Acrimony, which is a very interesting film to watch with your significant other or somebody of the opposite sex, because I realized we have very different opinions on what was wrong, what was right in the film. And I think if you're trying to see if your relationship is gonna go somewhere, that's a film to watch with the significant other. I feel as though she wasn't justified in the end for the way she went all crazy. However, the buildup of her emotional abuse should not be pushed to the side. And I feel like every male
nodding.
figure
Yes.
I've spoken to about this is always about the guy went through so much. What rubbish! He didn't go through shit, man.
Nothing.
He went through things he put himself into, or regular shit that happens in life. Whereas, what's her name again? Melinda couldn't even start the regular shit in her life because she was looking after him. Know what I'm saying? That's my opinion.
To further your point, I think Tyler Perry missed an opportunity, especially considering the climate of gender, like inequality. I feel like, you know, while this is a fictional movie, I feel like he lost a teachable moment for a lot of men. I feel like the direction in which he went, I think the movie had so much potential, but the direction in which he went, painting the man as the victim, when she had put in so much emotional labor, she had invested in his dream and sacrificed a lot. I think the turnaround where they painted the woman as an angry black woman or as a crazy black, we've seen too much of that. And I think people can say it's a movie, you know, it was written, it's all fictional, but the reality is many men are going to look at that shit and say, that's what I'm going through in my relationship.
So there's the blow.
Yeah, they're going, it's fiction, but to them it's a teachable moment. Oh, for a woman to be great, she must always be sacrificial. She must be able to take shit. That's what a lot of black men consider real women. Women that have been emotionally abused but stayed. Women that have like a high threshold for like violence, like domestic violence or emotional violence. Those are women that are considered to be heroes. Then the moment you cop out on the dream, you're like, I can't support this guy, he's mad, or now that he's made it, I'm going to take my shit. Then you're crazy.
Let's focus on the what he went through. So at the end of the day, right, I think guys are very ambitious, right? They usually are set up to have this dream to do big things in their lives, and like to sort of like provide a space for the female, right? And what you see through the movie is that he has had a dream since the very beginning, right? He had a dream of putting his woman in the top of the like apartment building. He's had the dream to get the boat. He's had the dream for the ring, right? She just happened to be that person in that space, right? So what she put him through was making him feel bad for something that he has always wanted in his life, always aspired to, making him feel bad to give that to someone else. Because she said, no, I don't want you, divorce, finish, right? And now she's coming back and saying, you are giving her my life, right? She is bestowing guilt on top of something that he has believed in his entire life. Entire life. That is not fair. The movie sort of depicted like the sympathy that you should give towards women, right? Like, she is being manipulated by this guy. This represents what women go through, like, on a daily basis. And then what I find is absolutely brilliant is that the script changed as soon as he gave her the keys to the house, because that's when now what is being depicted is what some guys go through, right? Where they have a woman that you cannot reason with at all, right? And it's very, I think it's very easy to then like miss that part based off like the way society has been constructed, because as I mentioned before, it's been constructed to give sympathy to the group of people that have been disadvantaged for so long. So you'll miss this second half of the movie where like this depicts like real scenarios that guys go through every day. So what I noticed every time I would watch like the movie with people is that at the beginning it's brilliant, it really is brilliant, but like literally if there's a woman in the room, like she will start to chant like, yeah, this is what niggas put us through. Niggas ain't shit. Niggas ain't shit mentality, guys, is a very strong thing. It's very...
Because they're not.
Thank you.
It is a very, very strong thing. So that is the sympathy. It's the I see you.
So basically, it's women giving other women that sympathy.
And
Which men are you saying?
So men, that's
Which men are you saying?
In terms of sympathy,
Okay.
men are not known to sympathize with women. Men are not known to even understand women. But women understand men. And this is what I'm trying to think. Like, if you're talking about rationality, intelligence, I think women have proved it a lot more than men. Like, women know how to communicate with men, and we can communicate with ourselves. Why do you men struggle with saying the simplest things to women? Tina pointed out, I think it's only women that had sympathy for her, because they could see how, like, especially as black women, we're taught that, you know, you have to sacrifice and give. How many times do you hear men say, oh, I need a woman that will build me, da, da, da. But you still want to be head of the home? If I'm building you, I better be head of that home.
Yes,
No, you guys know. Women will always expect to give more and hope that, oh, one day this man he will do well and his success will be my joy. And this is, to be fair, I felt like she could have been more selfish and told him, fuck your, what's that thing I was building? Your battery. In fact, Gale Force Win. That day it blew up, eh? That's the day I thought she would just be like, oh yeah, pack your things and get out of this house. Like, I thought she would like, but you know, like, again, women are taught, you keep going, he will make it one day, show your endurance, don't leave him on the wayside. How many women do you know, because they've left a man who's struggling, they'll be called, oh, she's selfish, she's not wife material. She's, like, women have those burdens. Men are not expected to stay with a woman when she's struggling. In fact, it's just like
she can't have kids, and which is a biological.
Which is and
a lot of times it's even the men, and they leave.
And they leave. Like men are not men are
somebody from the village.
Exactly. Men are not taught to stay around when women are having hard time, but women are taught you have to stick there. So anyway, in terms of sympathy, again, it's women that gave her sympathy, because we're like, sis, even though we know what you're doing is not smart, we see you, because this is the programming that we've been taught, and unfortunately you're a victim to this programming. And then the other thing I was going to say, the turn you were talking about, me, I don't think that turn was brilliant. I think Tyler Perry fucked that up real big, because it was like extreme. It was like the person writing the script, let me tell you what it felt like to me. It felt like someone started the story and somebody else finished it, and neither of them had seen each other's script. That's how it felt to me. It was like, how is this woman who is like sacrificial and giving, all of a sudden, like, she has pretty much gone mad. She has gone like, but then again, I'm like, well, I can kind of see the pattern, but again, it was too sudden. And for me, why it was so sudden is, this is a man who, what was the day that her family came over and he was like, you let them talk to me like that? Like, he blamed her for everything that went wrong in his life, like everything. And then the moment that you know, the moment that he becomes quote unquote the victim, they made him look like this perfect, I didn't do anything, oh, I was just a good man living my life. He gave her $10 million check. Like, first of all, most men will not give that $10 million.
It's very unrealistic.
She will have to be chasing him for that, even for 100,000. She'll be begging.
And the numbers
even with his kids. It's true, numbers don't lie.
Let's
look at child support today. Let me even say this. Look at child support today. Women
Yeah.
will have children with a certain man.
Yeah.
the man will have a certain lifestyle.
Yeah.
And the woman will say, based on your lifestyle, your children should live like this. You will see the whole of all the broadcast motherfuckers on Twitter having an opinion on who or how much the man. Like, I'm telling you, like, this shit is. I haven't forgotten the point I was making. I've been
Probably a man wrote that script, or somebody who's a victim of patriarchy or misogyny. It was very disappointing. It wasn't challenging. It was very typical, essentially. Like, it wasn't, oh, the man is aspirational, he's hustling, which is the picture they paint of men. They're the hustlers, they're the providers, and there's this woman who should have waited a little longer and things would have changed.
I'm glad you pointed that out. That little, like, if she had just stayed a little longer, I think that a lot of people will take that moment and run with it. I can literally hear Nigerian people saying, "You see, that is why you should stay to the end."
Yeah,
like, to me, it's like it's a passport for just abuse.
I don't think the intention was to depict if you stayed a little longer, because I think in that moment that he gave her the check and the keys, there could have been a moment where she came around and said, "Okay, listen, like, I made a mistake, blah blah blah," but she didn't do that. So it like, I think that moment was more of, what do you do when you make a decision and things go the other way? I think that's what that moment was for, or was intended to be. Like, you've now made the decision to paint this man a certain way in your mind, right? And the moment he is not as bad as you think, because the way what you guys had said was that in real life, men wouldn't have given that kind of check, right? So as soon as now he's not a bad guy because he gave the check, 10 million, judge even said it, this is more gracious than most people would, gave him the house, right?
That's her own house.
Exactly. That he lost for her.
He didn't have to do it. He didn't have to do it.
I think he had to, but anyway, go ahead. Okay. Yeah. No, it's true. I think he had to, but yeah.
Like, you know, so what do you do when someone is not as bad as you thought they were? After he cheated on her, that was his only mistake, right? That was his only mistake. He truly believed in the battery, right? He used the car to, like, get to work, blah blah. And when she said, "Listen, like, it's over, get a job," he got a job. So throughout the first half of the movie, right, his only mistake was cheating on her.
But to your point, that wasn't the only thing he did. He cheated on her, and then he ran through her life savings. He knew, no, it's true. Like, he knew that, for example, that part where the sisters came and said, "Oh, what happened with the house?"
Yeah.
He blamed her for the way they spoke to him. Even though any sensible person, anyone who's accountable, would be like, yeah, I kind of deserve that. This is, in fact, the grace that was given to him was so much, and I feel like he was still entitled. And then there was another thing he did. Oh, when he took the truck, because they called him for the thing and almost made the whole family lose their job. Like, this guy was extremely selfish. So for me, I wouldn't say the only thing he did was that. Like, that's not. Like, you literally drained this woman of her life. Like, he sucked the soul out of Melinda. This guy owed her 100 million at least. Let me just say
100 million?
Excuse me?
No. She tallied it at the end of the movie. She's like, "This nigga owes me 2 point da 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 da."
No.
He gave her
2.5 without interest.
Do you know?
Thank you. Without interest.
Do you know? Like, she also gave her time, like,
Her
in
life.
her whole life. Never got ahead.
No way. We're not talking about.
Those are the best years of her life. Those are the only years that she can work, that she can go and build herself.
No.
She was building him, buddy.
Guys, no.
She could have been a lawyer or something. That's the money.
Never ever say that you giving the person your time is a bad thing, because that's what a relationship is. Hey, you giving.
What did he give her?
Guys, he gave her.
Give her life.
Guys, time is time, guys.
What did he give to her?
Time is time.
Guys.
He spent all the time. like she'll come home. Oh, he's more and more distant from
Thank
me.
you.
From me.
Guys.
And he was always in that room.
Yeah, fixing his battery.
Yeah.
Guys,
What did he give her?
guys, okay, guys,
What
okay,
did
okay,
he give
okay,
her?
guys,
Just
guys,
answer my
okay.
question.
Okay, no, okay. So are you saying?
said time,
Are
but
you?
that's not it.
No, because
Okay.
like no, what you guys are saying that she gave him the best years of her life, right?
Of course.
But what you need to realize is when you sign up for a relationship, that's what you're signing up for. You're signing up.
Hell no,
Wait. You're signing up to give that person your time. If he didn't give her the time back, then sure, that is the wrong thing.
Right.
That-
But he didn't.
No, because- no.
No, he's right. But he didn't.
Yeah, no, he didn't, right? Okay, so that's
What you're telling me is one person has to build somebody up for this period of time, and then I have to give it to you back later on.
No, I'm not saying that.
No,
I'm
you're
saying,
saying-
no, what I'm saying is that, like, guys, you can't tell me that her giving him time is like she shouldn't have done that. She signed up for that when she married him, right? He signed up for the same thing. He didn't maybe come.
No, they might. That's
Well, that's the baby where that ring.
Nobody even came. Nobody came. All foolish
And they never
wedding
replaced
and
that ring, guys. What rubbish.
Nobody even
Anyways,
attended.
what I'm saying is that like getting married to someone is you signing up to give your time. So don't like there's no taking back. There's no he didn't give me time. You sign up to give that time. You know what it is. Done. Finished.
Okay, can I say something? From a woman's perspective, it's a little different because again, look how he was able to just bag another model like that because it's different for men. Like you can keep shooting sperm until you get like 80, but for a woman, it's a little different. Like she's feeling like, who's gonna want me after these years? And you know how you men behave. Once she's not spring chicken, perky breast, you people will be acting like she's used goods. And so like, I mean, if you look at it from her perspective, that is literally the best years of her life.
Okay, sure, but like, do you also remember that part in the movie where when he came back from the meeting where they offered him was it 80K or something
80K,
like that?
yeah.
He's like, listen, baby, I love you. I'm like, I know I can get a better deal. I love you. So it wasn't as if that like it was the best years of life and like even when he was gonna come
Hold on, but
into
he couldn't. Okay, let me even say something. Yeah, that guy never worked. Look, okay, he couldn't get himself that deal, so he was banking on like faith that he could achieve something he couldn't achieve, because what he did was he manipulated that other woman to get him that deal. So him not saying at that point that, hey, I've put you through enough, let me give you this money now, he was thinking of himself throughout.
No
it's not about
ways.
let me think
No
about
ways.
it. Oh, I can foresee. No, because even
No
he
ways.
couldn't foresee that he would get that deal.
No,
What are you saying,
I can't agree with you on that because you can't foresee that he was thinking about himself, because at the end of the day, he did give her that money and those keys. So based off that, you can assume. You can assume that he wasn't just thinking about himself.
No, because he was in a position to spread the money. What do you mean?
Oh my god.
To prove that you're not thinking about yourself, is where you are put in a difficult position where your own dream is being like sacrificed, where you're like, okay, this is an opportunity to give back to somebody that I've been on her back.
That's an interesting question. I want to ask you guys.
Okay.
Should he have taken
She
the
sacrificed
80K?
her life.
Should he have taken it?
Because remember-
let me tell you, after
ASAP.
what he put her through, I would have said yes.
ASAP.
And you can look at it because the script made him the hero at the end of the day and say, but that would have been silly. But if you've put her through that much, 80K that you've not seen in the last, since you were born, this man had never even seen 8K since he was born. 80K, I'll be like, are you crazy? Take that money.
I'd like to say, in a lot of these situations, us females are trying to educate men on how to treat us, but I know this is very idealistic of me to think this way, but I feel as women, we need to come together in deciding the way that we want to be treated. So if there are females who are not trying to be side chicks, there's no side chicks for the men to have. If we all decide we're not accepting this, okay, I feel like men are, in a way, they have high standards for themselves. So if there's a female, so if Felix goes to tell his boy, this female did this, how dare she, this and that, we don't do that for us females. We just accept that this shit is happening to us. If we all collectively decide, this shit is not happening to me, fam, neither is it happening to my sister, neither is it happening to my friend, that's the way we begin to change the narrative for ourselves.
What's up, guys? So final thoughts on the movie. I think that it is very interesting how the movie turned out and the things that happened in the movie, because I think it portrays what both genders go through. I think that However, unfortunately, the way society is constructed is that more females can side with the females because that is what they go through. However, I think that there's like I think there's a lot fewer guys, fewer good guys, as society would say it. Therefore, like, people don't see them, and I think it's very important to see them because there are some guys out there trying to change the narrative. They're trying to.
I think honestly that movie is just very realistic in the sense that, I don't mean the way they turned her crazy, but in the way that women are treated really badly and everyone sympathizes with the men and say, oh, he tried. People always giving men credit where they don't deserve. Men have so much unmerited respect, love, reverence, all that shit, and it really should be going towards women.
Right. The movie was unimpressive. Tyler Perry could have done better. I don't know if this term exists, but obviously male privilege. I see a lot of male privilege, male fragility, male mediocrity, all that stuff. Everything that is wrong with the world today and how men are favored and how easily it is for them to reinvent themselves. Like, in reality, that man, the way he acted, I know in real life, I can draw many family references. People don't make it out of situations like that. They don't, because he had an obsessive behavior with his battery. Just like some Nigerian men, they'll be checking the engine for many years, and that's where their life will end. Like, they'll be going on business trips that nobody knows about. They're always in Abuja doing business. And as a woman, you try to enter the conversation, they're like, no, it's business, you won't understand. That's really what the movie, and it really doesn't, in real life, it doesn't amount to anything.
Amount to shit.
So it was unrealistic. The man was made to be the victim, and we don't need male victims. Maybe black men, but like, this was.
But in the context of black women, we don't.
Yeah, if black men suffer, black women suffer more. And it's not timely. It's very So it wasn't reflective. It wasn't reflective of what we see in society today, and it was a missed opportunity. And yeah, we can talk about the specifics of the movie, but a man wrote it just like a man wrote the Bible and religion and all that, and constitution and the law, and women are disadvantaged, and that's nothing surprising.